So I watched Moon Knight season one, the last season. Who knows? If you don't know what's going on with that, basically, Marvel submitted Moon Knight. Oh, by the way, I guess I'll spoiler alert because I'm about to spoil Moon Knight. But Marvel submitted Moon Knight as like best limited series for the Emmys. So it's like, oh, it's a limited series. There's not going to be a second season. But then, again, spoiler alert, at the end of the show, we see them very much teasing a second season. Now, maybe that's not necessarily for another season, but we're going to see Moon Knight pop up in other things, and this story thread is going to be continued somewhere. Maybe they'll go the Falcon and the Winter Soldier route where they made that show, and now Falcon/Captain America is now getting his own movie in Captain America 4. Maybe they'll do something like that. I mean, if you have Oscar Isaac, I mean, yeah, give him a movie. Why not? But yeah, don't know what's going on there. But either way, this is Moon Knight, and I think the best way that I can encapsulate my feelings on the show is it was a breath of fresh air. I really enjoyed it. Now, my feelings on the Marvel shows so far have been, I thought they came out of the gate really great. Like, I thought WandaVision was great. I thought Falcon and the Winter Soldier was great. I feel like I like Falcon and the Winter Soldier a lot more than most people. But I mean, I thought those two shows were just some of the most raw and human things that the MCU had ever done, and then we got Loki and What If and Hawkeye, and whereas I thought WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier were great, Loki and What If and Hawkeye were just kind of swimming around in a pool of mediocrity. So I've been kind of down on MCU Disney Plus shows as of late, and Moon Knight is really solid. Like, I don't think it quite reaches the heights of WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it's definitely better than the stuff that we've gotten before, or that we've gotten recently. Now, if you count Daredevil as an MCU show, which maybe you do, who knows the canonicity of it, then obviously that's the best MCU Disney Plus show. Let's just be clear here. But yeah, I thought Moon Knight was great. I thought it was, or not necessarily great, but I thought it was really solid. I think, first of all, Oscar Isaac gave an incredible performance in this. Like, this is like the first time where I'm like, oh, I could actually see an MCU show getting like a best leading actor Emmy nomination. I mean, I thought all the performances were pretty great all around. I thought Ethan Hawke was great as Arthur Harrow. I thought the actress who plays Layla was great as Layla. And I mean, those really were like the three main performances, right? And yeah, just the way that Oscar Isaac just effortlessly switched between personalities, oftentimes like in one shot, right? Like in one shot where he just did it and you actually saw the transformation. Like, that was just next level stuff, I feel like, for the MCU. And yeah, and I just think at the end of the day, Moon Knight really is a character study of Mark Spector and, the trauma that he's been through and the defenses that he puts up for himself. And yeah, I just thought it was a really solid outing for Marvel. And, it's them continuing, to sort of diversify their storytelling to a certain extent, right? As they have often in the past, right? Like, every time I feel like Marvel gets samey, they come out with something cool and interesting, which I think is cool. And this is one of those things, right? So yeah, I think my biggest problem with it, honestly, was that was the finale. Like, it just much like WandaVision, really, where like, up until that season finale, WandaVision is incredibly unique and different. I like that there weren't like a ton of action sequences, like hardly any, really. And then in the finale, you get there, and okay, it has to turn into a big MCU, VFX heavy, big old fight, whatever. And it has to be that, I guess, because it's an MCU thing. And I feel like Moon Knight kind of ended up in a similar fashion, where it's like at the end you get the MCU trope of nope, you can't have you can't have death. This is of course the Marvel fake death universe where Steven's not actually dead. Mark is just gonna go back and get him. He's not actually gonna make the sacrifice. He's not gonna kind of he's not going to grow as a character and sort of wean off sort of the defense mechanism that is Steven. They're just going to coexist, and that is cool in its own way. I think that is maybe growth in its own way, but I don't know, just the Marvel fake death universe back at it again. And then it turns into a big VFX heavy fight where there's a purple light shining into the sky, and and here's the thing. More so than with WandaVision, I actually did enjoy the MCU nonsense finale. Like, I did think it was a lot of fun, like seeing Layla become the avatar of Tara Red and turning into like this Wonder Woman superhero. I'm like, I thought all of that was really cool, and I actually did really like how Steven had developed over the show, and he was actually like fighting and stuff in the finale. Like, I actually thought that seeing that was like really satisfying, and having that Mr. Knight persona not just be like a nod to the comic books, and then have Steven not actually like be a hero in his own right. I actually like that by the end of it, Steven had become confident in himself and was able to kind of like, because Mark and Steven, they all share the same mind. And I actually liked seeing him sort of take ownership of it all a little bit and actually turn into a competent superhero. Like, whenever we see more of this character, I actually think that I'm actually really looking forward to maybe if they end up going more of a detective route, seeing Steven and Mark really work together. That can be really interesting. So I really like seeing that at the end of this episode, and I think that can be really interesting in the future. And yeah, and I mean, listen, seeing like the kaiju Egyptian gods fighting, it's fun. I thought it was fun. What do you want me to say? And yeah, so yeah, overall, I think 1 through 5 I thought was just like genuinely really solid, just television, and like I thought episode 5 really stuck that landing and like made episodes 1 through 4 in retrospect better and make it all like make sense. And then in episode 6 we get a big goofy MCU thing, and I still had fun with that. I honestly did. But it does bring the show down a little bit, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I really enjoyed Moon Knight. Like I mentioned, like right off the top, I'm not sure. I mean, it really does imply that we're gonna get a second season, but Oscar Isaac apparently only signed a contract for this one season. They submitted the show as a limited series, so I don't know. I think it's possible that maybe he's going to show up some in other properties, and we're maybe going to see this sort of plot thread picked up somewhere else, whether it be in a movie, like his own movie, or in somebody else's movie, or in somebody else's show. It's not really clear, but yeah, overall, I really enjoyed Moon Knight, and I would like a second season. And yeah, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff that YouTubers tell you to do at the ends of their videos, and goodbye.